evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
To the shop.
I was and Wise.
The show tonight, are you in it?
It's a big man trying to come out. I think it's the Napoleon complex.
You'd be not good without me, wouldn't you?
What we finished up with was a double act without a straight man.
Look at me while I'm talking to you.
I'm actually me now. Ernie Wise.
What's your name?
I have to be in the star position. I can't take fourth place.
He's a lad.
The Importance of Being Ernie, 40 minutes, Tuesday, 9:50 on BBC2.
BBC2 gets the green light in 40 minutes for highlights of today's San Marino Grand Prix. Tales of lost love now on BBC2 as the 90s draws on the experiences of three women who made a life out of a career in the early part of the century.
We didn't expect to get married because we were the result of the First World War of 3 million superfluous women. And you see, the education that we had at school, it was sort of implied that it was your duty to use it for the benefit of the world. And there was no question in those days of having a job and being married and having children.
It was my mother's experience mostly, and what I saw going on around me, other mothers, other people's houses that we visited and the way they were run. I wasn't going to run a bourgeois house. Hadn't the slightest intention of doing any such thing, and never did. Never did at all.
Spinster. Well, of course, that's a very, very old-fashioned word. As you know, it comes from the girl who was left behind spinning in the corner. You know, that comes from very long ago days, long before my days, the word spinster comes. No, I don't know whether I've ever actually, not actually thought of myself in that term. I don't think so. But of course I am. Somebody to love me and children round me that I could love. Of course I would. Yes.
Sadly, since tonight's programme was made, Dorothy Galton has died. Testimonies to a living past are recorded in this BBC book, The 90s, out now to accompany the series.
I just cannot believe it. It's so amazing. Whitehall seems to be more narrow now, it doesn't seem to be so wide, and that's amazing. And there's where, if you were coming along there on the left hand side, where now would be the Whitehall Theatre, and opposite the Whitehall Theatre on the right would be the old Scotland Yard. It's amazing. And then where the National Gallery stands today, and all the buildings in the background of it seem to be modern buildings, seem to be not old buildings, seem to be. It's changed, but it's not changed, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, well, you say, you look at Whitehall, you're looking at, what, 6 vehicles? 6 or 7 vehicles in Whitehall. I mean, you'd never get that in Whitehall today, it's ridiculous. I mean, you get in this space where you're looking at like 7 vehicles in one, or you must look at, I would say, 50 cabs, 50 taxis, and you're not taking buses into account, and you're not taking nothing else. You're just taking just cabs. You know, I can't believe it. I can't. They still look the same. They still look similar to what they was, you know, 250 years ago.
BBC Two in 35 minutes breaks for more World Championship snooker from the Crucible. First, action on the track at Imola with highlights of the San Marino Grand Prix.
Here at Imola, we're at quarter distance in the championship with a leader we didn't expect to have, Ayrton Senna. Senna leads because of his brilliance in 2 wet races, but he's really up against it here because the weather forecast looks good and Imola is a power circuit where Renault's 800 horses will give the Williams men, Alain Prost and Damon Hill, a major advantage. Senna started his opposition to the Williams team badly by arriving from Brazil only 5 minutes before practice and then made things worse by going into the wall on Friday not once but twice and again on Saturday. In fact, Friday was an awful day for McLaren because Michael Andretti, who's crashed in all the first 3 races, had a carbon copy of Senna's accident to lower his already shattered morale, which happily recovered on Saturday. But Damon Hill's morale is sky high. Second in both the last 2 races. At Imola, he's competing for the first time on a track where he's already driven hundreds of test miles in his Williams Renault.
In testing, there's no pressure. You've got all day and you can drive the car to its limit, albeit without the adrenaline you get in competition, but you can easily find those limits. When you come to competition qualifying itself, you only have a limited number of laps and there's the pressure of everyone watching and the attention, and it's a little difficult to let it all flow and let it all relax a bit. And over the last 3 races I've actually started to relax a bit more in the car, and that's enabled me to drive to my full potential.
For the 3rd race in succession, it's an all-Williams grid front row, with Alain Prost again in pole position, despite missing the whole of Friday morning after being savaged by Alesi's Ferrari. Benetton's Michael Schumacher was the centre of controversy and confusion about the tyres he used on Friday and had his time cancelled and then reinstated. He's delighted again to start in front of Ayrton Senna. Imola is Ferrari country, but the fanatical Tifosi haven't got much to cheer about. The Maranello cars are better, but still not nearly good enough. So it's the 2 Williams up front, nearly 2 seconds faster than Schumacher and Senna. Carl Wendlinger's Sauber are fine 5th for the 2nd race in succession, and Michael Andretti 6th, hoping for a finish this time. Mark Blundell's Ligier ahead of the 2 Ferraris and teammate Martin Brundle. Johnny Herbert starts 12th, Derek Warwick 15th. Away they go.